No, it's my pleasure to be here. It's an exciting day for Southern Nevada. It's an exciting day for our great state.
Yeah, look at the difference, though. This is not a huge business. The governor of Nevada shows up to cut the ribbon and welcoming a new industry. So let's talk about the differences, because I can sit here all day and talk to you about how rough it is in California. But let's talk about the difference. What does Nevada do to help businesses that California does not?
Well, it's hard to decide where to start.
Okay.
But first of all, I think you touched upon this, the personal attention that companies that come here, you're going to have an opportunity to speak with constitutional officers, legislators, local government officials. We've completely redone the way we approach economic development and attracting businesses to the state of Nevada. We're working together with our university system, with our K-12 system, with our workforce development. The governor now chairs the Board of Economic Development. I've appointed industry leaders to sit on that board. We just commissioned a study that was conducted by Brookings and Stanford Research Institute. It has identified 7 clusters that we're going to be focusing on within our state. We're going to have experts within each of those areas to recruit new businesses. So it's unprecedented. We're very pleased and excited about the model that we've developed. We're going to be very aggressive.
Now, it sounds like we're doing a commercial for Nevada. No, I understand we are. And I hate doing commercials. I mean, it's not something that I do. I just wanted a straight interview, and that is, what's the difference? How come businesses are moving here? And I have seen the process when Salvo was moving here. As a matter of fact, I've been working with him for months. And it is so difficult in California. So let's talk about the taxes. Let's talk about the laws. Yeah, let's talk about what you folks do to make it as friendly as possible versus when I open up a business in California, which is a zoo.
Well, first you mentioned taxes. We don't have an income tax. There is no personal income tax. There's no corporate income tax. We feel like we have the most business-friendly tax structure in the country. You mentioned regulations and getting through this myriad of issues when you want to open up a business in the state. I've been a governor for the state of Nevada for a year. It's been a privilege and honor to serve. The first executive order that I signed froze every regulation in the state of Nevada, required my entire cabinet to systematically go through those regulations, find out those that are not business friendly, those that are obsolete, those that are not useful anymore. I'm going to get a report within the next week, and we are going to remove those regulations. We want and we think we are the most business friendly state in the country. We have incentives that we believe that we can provide companies that are looking to come into our great state. We started a program called Silver State Works. If there's a company that is seeking employees, we'll assist that company with financial.
And you actually give money. You will help with loans. You will. That's one thing I discovered when I was working with Salvo on this. Is not only is it easy to come here, if it doesn't work, you'll figure out a way to make it work. That is inconceivable in California, having owning businesses in California. I gotta tell you, it's a tough place to be.
And I'm not going to bang on California.
Oh, go right ahead. No, let's do it, because I can do it too.
I will say this. We just had a luncheon with the Nevada Development Authority, which is the main economic development force here in Southern Nevada. There were approximately 40 new businesses who came to this luncheon, most of which have relocated from the state of California. And they, to a person, said to me how great of an environment they have in Nevada. Some remarks that you just made, they wish they had moved here sooner.
Right.
They have the flexibility to grow. They have the trained workforce that they're going to need. They have the educated workforce that they're going to require. They have the access to the community colleges, our university system. We're able to respond to all their needs.
Yeah, that's well. The population is so much less.
Yes.
There's so fewer people that you are able to move quicker. A couple of things, if I can ask you. And by the way, I don't want people to think I've grown up in Southern California. I really love California, other than the traffic and other than the school system, which has gone to hell in a handbasket, other than the fact you can barely start a business, other than the fact that they tax you to death. Small potatoes. But let's talk about things that are similar. Do you have an issue of illegal aliens here that's problematic in terms of the costs, like we do?
Well, that's a challenge, and
Okay.
Immigration is a challenge for many states. But I just mentioned today when we did this grand opening, I have a great relationship with the Hispanic community.
I hope so. Your last name's Sandoval.
But no, I mean,
If you don't, who does?
The Hispanic Chamber wants to be, the Latin Chamber wants to be part of our approach, and that's part of what's special about Nevada, is we're reaching out to the Latin Chamber, to the Asian Chamber, all our respective chambers of commerce, so that they can all be on the ground floor of what we're doing here in this state. They've talked about some initiatives that they have that we want to incorporate into our state plan. So you really have essentially an approach here that I don't think you're going to see in any other state across the country.
All right, so I want to spend a moment talking about gambling, because that's where you get all your money. So it's easy for any of us outside of Nevada to go, well, of course it's easy. You got the gambling money. Boy, if we had gambling like you did, we wouldn't have taxes either. But let's talk about the taxes that you do have. Property taxes?
Yes.
How high are they relative to other states and cities?
Competitive with any other state, and it will vary by county, but we believe we're extremely competitive when it comes to property taxes. But we do have abatement programs, so that if a business is seeking to come here, we can work with them on that.
And so you give them a break?
Yes.
How about figuring out, do you help with the loans, for example?
Well, we have different programs. We just talked about it in our Economic Development Board meeting. We had some legislation that was just passed that freed up $50 million for Nevada companies to seek assistance in loans and for investment. So we think that's a tool that not many states have. So if a company is to relocate here, they can apply for that. That's something that, as I said, we're not aware of anything like it across the country.
Now, I was just talking to the local development board here, and there is an effort now, and I don't know how ongoing it is and how long it's been around, to convince businesses in Southern California, get out and come here. How important is that to you, and how extensive is that?
Well, we're not going to make any bones about it. We're going to be very aggressive.
You're not shy about trying to grab the businesses.
And competition is good. Competition is healthy. We're going to contrast Nevada with California and any other state and demonstrate that it is the best place in the country to do business. So if there are businesses that are not satisfied in the state of California, our doors are wide open. I'll sit down with anybody. I'm on the phone almost on a daily basis talking to CEOs of companies from the state of California that are exploring their options.
The foreclosures. That's the biggest thing that's going on. Matter of fact, I think Las Vegas particularly has the worst foreclosure rate in the country. How is that affecting, number one, your economy? And I assume it's great for anybody who has money and wants to move here. But let's talk about how it affects the economy.
No, and it's difficult. And I'll be the first one to admit that we are trying to do something about this foreclosure crisis. We have a lot of struggling folks that want to stay in their homes. We have a huge inventory of homes, and you hit it right on the head. That's the bad news. The good news is if you're seeking to relocate to Nevada, particularly Las Vegas, there's a lot of affordable homes, great, beautiful homes that you wouldn't otherwise be able to obtain in the state of California. So we're aware of that. We're working on it. I've been working with the banks to see if there's some things that we can do for our residents, for our citizens that are struggling, and we're going to move forward.
Having been with Saville and his process of buying a house, you're being very political when you say they're affordable. They're a steal. They really are.
Some great opportunities, and we're seeing a lot of people who, as I said, I learn a lot of things anecdotally. There'll be individuals who relocate their businesses. They will have employees who could never have dreamed to have the houses that they have now,
for sure,
that they weren't able to use or live in California. And that's part of this quality of life that I'm talking about, is you have an opportunity to come to our state. You aren't going to pay a personal income tax. You're going to be able to purchase an affordable, great home in a good neighborhood. We're improving the delivery of education, K through 12 in our schools. So on so many levels, Nevada's working.
Governor, I know you have a lot of appointments today. Thanks for hanging with us. It's a pleasure. It's an honor.
It's a privilege and honor for me to be.
Thank you.
To be with you. Hopefully we'll have an opportunity to do it again, and I'll continue to tell you the Nevada story. We believe Nevada's going to move again, and as I mentioned, if Nevada were stock, I'd buy it now.
Oh, that's a great line. And by the way, I heard you say that, and you got a big response on that one. And for those of you that are listening now, which you obviously are, compare this interview with the interview that I had with the governor, Jerry Brown, in which we were yelling at each other, and he kept on saying the future of California is not in doubt. Very interesting. Anyway, Governor, thank you. What a pleasure. This is KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. That's it. We are done. That was terrific. Thank you. I know that was a commercial for Nevada business, but I got to tell you.